Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast Specials Generation Battle number 21. I believe it's number 21, and because I have forgotten, I'm going to double check while still in the recording. So, yeah, don't worry about me, just checking what battle number it is. I believe it's number 21, so hopefully I'm correct there. I'm just going to say though, if at any point you used to see my fringe just messing around like it always does, then that's because I actually have the fan on over in that direction because it is really hot in my room, and that explains why the curtains are moving as well. If you're wondering no, I do not have a window open because the last thing I need is a hell of a loud background noise. So I'd rather keep it as quiet as keep it under control as best as I can. But yeah, I just checked. It is battle number 21, and here we are, the final battle of the quarterfinals, I believe. Quarterfinals, final battle of the quarterfinals with Raksha the Mirror Demon versus Kyrax the Metal Warrior. So, with that being said, we know which of the remaining 7 beasts at the start of this round is straight away through to the semi-finals. So, congratulations, Falcor the Coil Terror. You're in the next round, and you didn't have to kill anyone. But Raksha and Kyrax, I saved this one for last for the sole reason it was going to be the most interesting battle. There was no competition about it. Compared to the other matchups, I knew these two were going to be the battle, which would be at the end. I think Lucas knew it as well. Like, there was no competition. There really wasn't. So, with that being said, let's try and narrate a good battle for these two. So, to start things off, yes, it'll be in the combat arena. Every battle will be in the combat arena until the end of this tournament. So, only 3 more battles. 3 more battles! Oh my... 4 more. 4 more battles! Oh my god! So, that's a bit crazy, really. Because I didn't think that this tournament is nearing its end. And we're going to be at the final 4 after this battle. Oh no! So, God, what is wrong with me? So, let's try and get this one. Let's try and make this battle a good one. End round 3, I think it is, on a high note. So, let's, combat arena. So, yeah. Okay, combat arena. Yes. Okay. So, as both beasts exit from their chambers, Kyrax going through the sky chamber. There we go. That's what it's called. Whilst Raksha takes the front door. Literally takes the front door. Raksha just goes through the chamber and takes the front door with him. Okay. He straight away spots Kyrax and chucks the door directly towards Kyrax. Kyrax sees this coming and just shoots a bolt of electricity at the door, causing it to explode into millions of pieces with the splinters just landing all over the arena and just brushing off Raksha. Raksha conjures up 2 fireballs whilst Kyrax is preparing more electrical cackling in his hands. I don't know, electrical bolts, I don't know. And simultaneously, Raksha throws both the fireballs directly towards Kyrax whilst Kyrax shoots both the energy bolts at Raksha. No, at the fireballs. Causing them to explode, causing a big puffball of smoke to arise. Only for Kyrax to see a faint glow coming from the other side, seeing that another fireball's on its way, and just before it appears out of the smoke, he ducks down just in time to avoid a fireball that would directly hit him in the everywhere, because it was that big. So Kyrax shoots another bolt of lightning where the fireball came from. A few bolts of lightning, actually. And Raksha just stands there and takes it. It doesn't seem to be feeling any pain. So, yeah. Raksha conjures up another fireball, was conjuring up a fireball to take most of the bolts. So, taking it, but the fireball isn't exploding because he keeps building up heat and flames into it, so it's just staying the same size. So yeah, whilst behind his back he's conjuring up another fireball. When it got to the point where Kyrax kept shooting energy bolts, what Raksha does is that he chucks the fireball towards the energy bolts, and they all explode, only for Raksha to not do that, but throw a curveball going round the smoke, hitting, aiming for Kyrax directly on the side. Kyrax sees this in his peripheral vision and shoots a bolt of lightning without even looking to his left, and explodes that piece up. Raksha, realising he's not going to get anywhere by just trying to hit something that is flying and can barely be visible, what Raksha does, he just smashes his fist into the ground, causing cracks to go everywhere, and with the causing a bit of a circular formation to go around a piece of the ground, a large piece, however, he used both his hands to pick it up and chuck it directly towards Kyrax. And Kyrax sees that, shoots a bolt of lightning towards it, but because it is dirt, and dirt kind of grounds electricity, I'm sure that logic does not work here, but I'm going with other logic here. It does not do anything. It doesn't do anything. So what Kyrax does is that he prepares for it to come to him, and right before it's about to hit him, he spins round, angling his wings in like knife-like formations, and just slices right through the dirt, slicing it in multiple pieces, where bits of it only hits Kyrax but not majorly, and other bits just fall down to the ground. By that time, though, the smoke has cleared, and Raksha's not where he was. Kyrax looks around, only to see a fireball greeting him from the top, from underneath him, and so what Kyrax does is that he shoots a lightning bolt directly towards the fireball, and straight away shoots another one, going right into Raksha's hand, which was about to conjure up another fireball. And what Raksha does, was absorbing the pain that's coming from it, he conjures up a fireball to just absorb the pain and push it towards Kyrax, whilst Kyrax is swooping down, diving down, shooting energy bolts from both his hands, whilst Raksha's conjuring up 2 fireballs to take it. It gets to the point where Kyrax realises he's going to need to take some pain to stun Raksha. So what he does is that he keeps shooting the bolts directly towards fireballs and swooping down, diving down as fast as he can, to the point where they come rather close to each other, and Kyrax full-on headbutts Raksha directly square in the forehead, knocking Raksha backwards, stopping his fireballs, but also the lightning stopping from Kyrax as well, as he felt a bit of pain as well. And what Raksha does when he regains himself, he's surprised to see Kyrax charging straight for him on his wings, and Kyrax clings onto the shield that's on his chest, just shaking it violently. Raksha's just trying to hit Kyrax off, but Kyrax keeps climbing all over him, causing him to miss. And one time whilst Kyrax is just crawling over the Raksha's chest, he slams his fist directly in the chest, shaking the shield violently, causing Raksha to howl in pain, and a token falls out. I'm not going to say which one, though. Token falls out. Yeah, that's all I'll say. One of the tokens on Raksha's chest shield has fallen out. Kyrax continues doing what he's doing, and was on a part of Raksha's back where his arms can't reach, because everyone has that problem, where there's always that one spot on their back they can't reach, and it's always a spot where that always itches. So what Kyrax does is that he folds his wings in and angles the feathers of it, because he's made of metal, remember, and starts jabbing at Raksha. It's not doing anything because of the armour. Kyrax realised this. He extends the wings out and slices off the string or the chain, or tries to slice the chain, but it works, let's say, that is supporting the armour. And what Kyrax does now is that now he has to figure out how to get it off him. So what Kyrax does is that he flies off Raksha, flies in front of him, and quite a good distance away, Raksha charges towards Kyrax, and Kyrax shoots a bolt of lightning down on the ground, where in Raksha's running path, let's say, and keeps doing that to where it's kind of like hurdles, but inward hurdles. So Raksha has to run over them, and if he trips over, he trips over. Simple as. But basically, that's what happens. Raksha trips over, and his armor just slips off. Now, technically, that means his shield is off as well, causing him to be a bit exposed. But the thing is, though, Raksha, when he fell over, rolled over as well for the armor to come off, but he also rolled right on top of Kyrax, which was not expecting that, crushing him against the ground, but he's still alive. Raksha, just a bit winded and also a bit confused, sees his armor just lying on the ground. Scared for a second, what Raksha does, he conjures up a fireball, feels a slight pain because he doesn't have the fire resistance token on his chest to help him. He slams it directly into the ground where Kyrax is, not fatally injuring Kyrax because Raksha didn't have enough time to keep it heated up enough, but just causing him to just feel the pain that is going to be there for a while. Kyrax fights to get up and sees Raksha charging towards his armor to put it back on. Kyrax shoots a weak bolt of lightning at the armor, causing it to go further away, causing Raksha to run further. He shoots another bolt of lightning, aiming for Raksha's leg, the joint knee area, the back of the knee. Raksha feels the pain and just limps towards his armor, and Kyrax now has the energy to run to get back up, and he charges straight towards that chainmail armor. Kind of like how in Shrek 2, Shrek and the fairy godmother race to get hold of that wand. But this time, they're playing a bit dirty. They're playing a bit dirty there. So Kyrax shoots another bolt of lightning, aiming for Raksha's leg. It hits. Raksha starts to fall down, but he extends his arm out where Kyrax gets clotheslined by him. He slams his arm down into the ground, slamming Kyrax into the ground, reaches for his armor, and he does have to put it on, but he does now have the powers that's in it. He conjures up the fireball and presses it right against Kyrax, just starting to injure Kyrax, like fatally injuring. Kyrax is angling his wings out to try and slice at Raksha's wrists. He's feeling the pain, but he's not giving in. Kyrax is also angling his hands to where it's grabbing hold to Raksha's wrists and just zapping his wrists, but Raksha's not giving in. He's not giving in with the flames. What Raksha then does is that whilst he's doing that, he's grabbing the chainmail and just his armor and just slamming it directly into Kyrax over and over and over and over again. Repeatedly, over and over and over again, just denting, rusting the metal that Kyrax is in, and as it's getting heated up, the metal in Kyrax is getting softer and softer, making him starting to become, well, not weaker per se, but his body not as strong, because the fire that Raksha's forcing into him is heating him up, melting him, and Raksha's just slamming his armor into it just to break it up easily. And at some point, Kyrax's wings just droop and his arms just start dropping down. Kyrax is still alive, but just very weak. Raksha gets back up, puts his armor over his head, holds it up like this, kind of like the disc DVD cover for the Belko experiment with the stapler, and slams it directly into Kyrax, just slamming repeatedly over and over and over again, to the point where Kyrax is just very dented, very broken, but just barely alive. Kyrax struggles to get back up, and by the time he gets up, he sees Raksha charging at him, who was walking away whilst he was getting up, And as soon as Kyrax stands up fully, he's greeted by Raksha's foot kicking him square in the chest, knocking him backwards into the wall of the combat arena, causing cracks to go over the place. And Raksha conjuring up another fireball and saying, like with Mortax against Scalamanx, if beasts can speak, this is what Raksha would say: strike free, you're out. Chucks the fireball directly towards Kyrax. Kyrax does not have the energy or the reflexes to react to that quickly, and just accepts his fate, closes his eyes, braced for the impacts, as the fireball consumes him, leaving a big ball of smoke and a loud explosion, destroying that hole in that wall. Kyrax is nowhere to be seen, but there's just a little puddle of what Raksha sees as liquid metal just seeping into the ground, being absorbed by the earth. Raksha realises that the deed is done, and he goes back into his chamber, which still has no front door, because the landlord was not brave enough to put another front door in there whilst these Goliaths were fighting. So, with that being said, Raksha's won, Kyrax has lost. Now, this battle, I'll be honest, I actually really enjoyed doing. And that's for the simple reason, I had no idea who was going to win. And I was just narrating it to where it just sounds like it would make the most sense. And I gave Raksha the win because Raksha was also maybe having an ego, is not as big of an ego as Kyrax has. Because an ego can be a major weakness. Raksha has the power of the shield tokens and will use it. By the way, the token that was missing on the chainmail when it came off was the serpent's tooth. So really doesn't affect Raksha there. So yeah, you got a bit baited there. But Kyrax's problem is his ego. He supposedly has the power of the golden armor, but due to his ego, he will refuse to use it, as he knows he's strong enough to go without it. Due to his main weakness being fire, though, Raksha's main abilities is fire. So yeah, that was a bit of a hit for Kyrax. Kyrax, knowing that he couldn't do anything due to how weak he was right before the first hit, right before the last hit, he knew he was going to die. So, like what Shen did in Kung Fu Panda 2, he accepted his fate. I have been doing too many pop culture references in this battle, by the way. Okay, so yeah. Kyrax, I'm afraid, has missed out on the top 4. But that's okay, though, because, quite frankly, it'll be a bit boring to have what is probably one of the most powerful beasts, the one that's probably going to win. So, I'm glad Kyrax didn't make it, not due to my dislike for him, but because of the fact that he was a prime candidate of one that could win. So with the final 4, we are now down to the final 4. We got Kreta, the Winged Terror. Now hold on. I might as well do the summary video in this. I might as well do the summary for round 3 video in this as well. So we've got Kreta, who's made it to the semi-finals, who's beaten Kragos and Kildor in round 1. In round 2, has avoided any battles, and in round 3, killed Spyros. So Kreta has only 2 victories under her belt, but they're both against one formidable beast and one 2-headed demon. Up next is Mortax, the Skeleton Warrior, who in round 1 has beaten Grashkor, in round 2 has beaten Scalamanx, and in round 3 has beaten Vorak. All 3 of those beasts are incredibly strong and formidable, and quite frankly, Mortax did a great job making it this far. Next is Raksha, the Mirror Demon. In round 1, destroyed Rivera, and round 2, killed Jakara. And in round 3, as we just saw, killed Kyrax. So, Raksha's, like Mortax, has not skipped any rounds this season. And has, unlike Mortax though, has killed only 2 formidable beasts. Because Rivera is not formidable. She is anything but formidable. But I will say though, Raksha probably killed this. Raksha probably killed the most formidable beast that is not in the top 4. And last but not least is Falkor the Coiled Terror. In round 1, Falkor killed Kyrax, and in round 2, Falkor killed Vedra. And round 3, he skipped round 3. So, unfortunately for Falkor, looking at all the victories all these beasts got, Falkor has the least impressive wins, because Kyrax, yeah, is probably the most intimidating out of all of them, but Vedra is Vedra. So, Cressa, in my opinion, has killed more formidable beasts than Falkor. So, ordering it in ones that had the more impressive victories, from least impressive to most impressive. Last would be Falkor, followed closely by Cressa. But for these two, most impressive defeats as to these two. Now, even though Raksha did kill Rivera, which isn't impressive because it was kind of obvious, Mortax did kill 3 rather intimidating, rather strong beasts. But I'm tempted to still give the most impressive victory to Raksha because of Kyrax. And that is probably something that I might change in the future. But as of now, Raksha has the most impressive victory to me. But yeah, these are our final 4. Cressa, Mortax, Raksha and Falkor. If your original prediction has made it to the top 4, like mine did, then good on you. Will your prediction win though? Only time will tell. And with that being said, join me in the semi-finals of Battle of the Beasts Special Generation, which will be battle number 22. I have no idea when it'll be released, but until then, peace out. I missed the button! Peace out.